is we do go through a quick rundown of how the Calgary market is doing. And looking at the numbers here, I pulled this off the Calgary Real Estate Board's website today. So this is like real-time stats. This is exactly where the numbers are right now. And you can see the numbers that we like to zoom in on, especially in a spring market like we're having. The total sales, you can see compared to 2024, we're down 28%. And that's a huge drop when you saw in the last few years, our sales were galloping up at an unbelievable rate. That's the sales volume. Another thing we want to look at is that active listings, which is the actual inventory on the market right now. Now to see that go up 106% over May, it's the same number of days in May in 2024, that's phenomenal as well. We're seeing an awful lot of inventory growth. Yeah. Now, because of that, it's more challenging to appraise the property because the sales are going down, but the inventory is going up. So everybody out there thinks, oh, look at all these properties. They're priced at this, they're priced at this, they're priced at that, but they haven't sold yet. They're just list prices. So it's a very, very challenging environment for appraisers right now. And it's a bit challenging for sellers as well. But the good thing about this type of market is it's very good for buyers.
It's very good for buyers, but still in certain segments of the market, there's still competing offers. So definitely on suited properties, going out buying properties that are already suited, we're going into multiple offers. Yeah. So we're actually staying away from that still. We're putting our own suites in. We could buy them way cheaper. Understand that it costs $30,000, $40,000. Danielle does mortgage plus improvements. We use the government grants, which is $10,000 right now. This is a no-brainer, right? We've got 4 basement suites on the go right now, and we're going to be well under the average of getting a suited property in Calgary, depending where you're at, but on the low end for detached is $650,000. That's with a double car garage. It may not be a legal suite, may not be legal, could be most likely illegal. So we would just rather go in there and do it on our own. So, but you know what? There's different segments of the market. The $1 million plus range is moving right now. The condo market behind us is stalling again because inventory is coming up. You're going to see 60% more mortgages are due that people signed during COVID, 60% of those mortgages. So you're going to see people's interest rates go up, and we're already getting calls. We've got a couple today that people are like, yeah, we may be selling a couple here, or we may be downsizing. So there's going to be movement no matter what. We still feel Calgary's in a great position, knowing that Ontario and Quebec and BC, we still feel you have to remember 40,000 people came here last year. We think if it's not going to be this year, it's definitely going to be next year that more people will be moving to Calgary. So, which you're going to need more housing. And you know what? There is affordable rental properties here. There's actually too many rental properties, and that's why the rents have come down. So you have to keep an eye on that. What we're short of is, suited properties, detached. The townhouse market is coming back, but you know what? The way they're building new townhouses now, they're stacking them. They're really stacking them. Yeah. And people don't want to live in stacked townhomes because you hear your neighbors. You either have one upstairs or one downstairs. They're even building them even crazier. Tim and I were in the Northeast not long ago, and it was a townhouse complex, but you had to go up a central staircase to get to your stacked. It
was built like an apartment building.
Yeah, and so people don't want to live in those. So those older townhouses, there's great value in those properties.
Couple other things before we move on. The numbers I want to look at, the average price, it's still going up. It's gone up 4.1% so far this month. Trending over the year, we're still up over 6%, and we're almost halfway through the year. So we're seeing a 6% increase in the first 6 months of the year, or we will see it in the first 6 months of the year. How the second 6 months go, it may slow down a bit, depends on how the tariff situation gets settled. But we are seeing this growth. Toronto and Vancouver are not seeing this kind of growth. They've had negatives every month, well, almost every month since the beginning of the year. They're not seeing the growth we are, so we're in a very good position here in Calgary. And just one thing on the multiple offers, you can see the bottom 2 lines down there, the average amount paid over list price, $15,000. That's the multiple offer properties where people go into multiple offers, and you can see the maximum amount over list price that someone paid was $150,000 over list price. So that was probably a very competitive property, probably had many, many offers on it. We're still seeing that, but not to the extent we saw it last
Wow.
year.
That's a good stat. Where did
Yeah.
you get that?
It's right there.
Oh,